Hello everyone, my name is Matías del Campo. I'm here to present the paper How Machines Learn to Plan, Transferring Symbolic Style Between Modern and Baroque Plans Using Generative Adversarial Networks. This paper was written together with Alexandra Carlson from Michigan Robotics and with Sandra Manninger of Span. Plans represent a vast collection of potential solutions for design problems. Considering the colossal amount of data that a collection of plans equals, spanning the entire history of the discipline, it seems evident to drill into this enormous repository of design imagination in the age of big data. A simple search on Google yields more than 7 billion results tagged plan. This enormous vault of information that the disciplines of architecture and design has amassed throughout the ages forms a hugely important resource, waiting to be mined and processed. Not to copy or imitate existing design solutions, but to find bespoke solutions to specific problems. It is almost impossible to assess plans just based on their utilitarian aspects. The planning process is directly impacted and influenced by economic environments, material preferences, political conditions, and stylistic fashions of the time the design was created. Whether this be in the rigorous structure and geometrical purity of Renaissance architecture, as exemplified in the concept proposed by Leon Batista Alberti in the Re Edificatore, or in the intricate and voluptuous geometry of parametrically designed buildings. Therefore, its most basic level, the planning process is rooted in the inherently human ability to not only perform pattern and symbol recognition, but also pattern and symbol generation. The goal of this paper is to address the question, how can the abstract, aesthetic, symbolic concept of the plan be realized through an algorithm? We post that the best candidate for algorithmic planning are deep neural networks, specifically generative adversarial neural networks. These are a family of powerful algorithms that comprise a branch of the research on artificial intelligence and machine learning that have unparalleled success in performing generative tasks. To motivate the use of artificial intelligence applications, specifically GANs, to create well-informed planning solutions, we define the following. We say well-informed, in the sense of being able to resolve uncertainty or to convert raw data into valuable information in a creative, functional fashion. In continuation of this conversation, the full paper contains interrogations of crucial terms such as creativity, agency, and authorship in the age of AI. As GANs can conceive solutions currently extraneous and unseen to designers. These unseen solutions can range from alien morphologies that emphasize creativity to advanced programmatic solutions that solely focus on functional design. In contrast, this paper is primarily interested in extending insights from the first territory to interrogate the second, existing but uncharted territory. Neural networks at their core are purely mathematical functions that are structured and trained to extract features from their input that will maximize predictive power and performance on some human-defined tasks. Nonetheless, because neural network structures are based upon how the human brain functions, we can, in a sense, use them to not only study, but also to complement our own sensibilities. While these algorithms are tools that have no self-awareness or ability to make conscious design and aesthetic choices, we as designers can utilize them as tools to see the world in a different way and leverage this new insight to inform the design process. Thus, the overarching goal of this paper is to demonstrate and explore a plan design technique that uses the innovative style and spatial features learned by neural networks, but is influenced by human-devised aesthetic and functional constraints. A plan is represented as pixel values in an image, which means the myriad symbolic meanings, cultural, economic, etc., captured in a plan are also built into these pixel values. The proposed GAN-based technique leverages the large amount of structural and symbolic information that is captured by the design of plans throughout history, represented as a large image database of stylistically and functionally specific planning solutions. For the experimental setup of this paper, these plans were divided into two separate learning classes, Modern and Baroque. with the ultimate objective of jointly learning the architectural features unique to each class and transferring these features between classes to create new creative examples. While the floor plans are the result of training a GAN with no functional constraints, we see that certain functional elements of floor plans are naturally learned by the neural network. The full paper will extend this experiment to investigate how to add functional constraints to the learning process of the neural network, meaning enforcing the placements of doors and windows, etc. Circling back to the initial question whether machines can learn to plan, we can state that machines can certainly model and/or recognize styles, and even capture visual features that appear symbolic or representative of the cultural information encoded in floor plan design. But a planning process needs far more semantic information in order to successfully fulfill the task. This means that the recognition of a style alone is not sufficient to label it a successful planning process. For this to be synthesized in any form of neural network, a deeper level of information is necessary. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to create an entire series of databases, instead of just one, which contains more detailed semantic information about plans such as doors, windows, living rooms, sleeping rooms, toilets, baths, etc. This additional information can then be incorporated into the neural network structure and learned paradigm to train the neural network to produce a successful planning pipeline. As previously mentioned, the full paper will present a discussion on how to improve the functional quality of the generated images, as well as how to improve the overall image quality by additional constraints during the GAN training process. In conclusion, we can say the analysis of the results revealed some interesting insight. It is interesting to observe that the Baroque influence on modern plans consists in a thickening of walls and an increased subdivision of space. The GAN learns to transform from the inherent symmetry of Baroque plans into asymmetric conditions inherited from the modern floor plan database. The struggle between these two conditions is expressed in strange, massive pochets, populating parts of a modern plan. It is a stretch, though, to describe these plans as modern, as they are operating outside modern criteria of planning, such as continuous floor space, striving for a dissolution of material assemblies, etc. These plans combine the voluptuousness, the thickness of Baroque materiality with the asymmetry, openness, and rationality of a modern floor plan, resulting in a hybrid condition. In conclusion, it can be stated that in architecture discourse, the line, the plan, the abstract representation of materiality has played a major role, and it always has been interpreted as the result of human cognition and mind. In this paper, we present the possibility to utilize AI applications for the generation of planning processes. This approach, on the one side, critically interrogates the unique position of the human mind when it comes to creative processes, and in addition, questions aspects of creativity in planning processes. In a design ecology where the boundaries between human and computational cognition are increasingly blurred, the presented process harvests the multiplicious solutions found by architects throughout the ages and employs mining big data to create possible novel solutions to planning problems.